going on, everyone? It's me, Mr. Mario, and just wanted to show you all this right here that we are going to be cleaning. This is a PlayStation 1 that we're going to attempt to clean. Now, as you can see, it's not in the worst of shape, and I haven't even tried it yet, but if you look, it's kind of dirty, kind of nasty, because I end up paying less than $9 for this. It was at a thrift store, and it was on sale. So I got this. It was sold as is, with a controller, just one of those old school controllers that doesn't have the analog sticks on it, a power cable for it, which the power cable for this, they are a bit more, they're not as easy to find, so pretty happy to have that. That alone was probably worth, a few dollars at least. And then on top of that, also got another goodie in here, which I didn't know until I got it, but Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. Again, don't really know if this works, but has a few scratches, has some scuffs on it. We'll check it out. I also got video cables for it, but they actually gave me composite N64 video cables. I still took them anyways, because I'm like, well, I mean, I might use them for something at one point. But either way, we got them. So, if you're looking at the title of this video, you're not being trolled. This isn't, we're going to be trying this. What we're going to try and do is clean this entire system in the dishwasher. Now, for somebody who's been watching the channel for a few years, thank you very much for your viewership. And you might be asking, Mario, didn't you do this already? I did. I did clean a N64 in the dishwasher, but all I did was just clean up the, plastic components. The actual, heat shielding and everything, and the PCB and the motherboard, I didn't wash those. We're going to try and wash this entire thing, just because, one, this was cheap enough where I was like, you know what, I feel like taking a risk on it, and it'll be entertaining to make a video, and two, let's say I do destroy this thing in the dishwasher. Well, at that point, it's like, I honestly, I have a few other PS1 systems, and if I didn't, PlayStations and PS1s are extremely common, and they're cheap enough. So, for this, again, for something less than $9 that came with, the power supply and a free game as well, I don't mind chancing that. Now, we're going to be taking the whole thing apart, right? I'm not just going to take this and chuck it in there. But first off, I want to test and make sure this works, because if I do this and it doesn't work, I have no idea right now if it's going to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook this up to my TV. We're going to try the game out here, and we're going to see if it works. Alright, so just did the basic setup here, got the power cable. I actually didn't even use the one that came supplied, so it might or might not work, but most likely it does work. Hooking it up through RGB SCART, got the Frame Meister on deck right here. Ignore the cable mess, but got that because we're going to be doing SCART on this, of course, and just using this controller, which I also got at a thrift store, and this one was free. And also one of these really awesome red controllers that I had never seen before, so we're going to attempt to turn this on. We have power, and it looks like we have video signal. So let's go ahead and see here. Move this up. Alright, let me actually turn up the volume on here. Alright, cool. Not sure if y'all can hear the disc right there, but it's just churning along. Controller works. Alright, cool. Let me actually load it to the menu, all that fun stuff. Okay. Neat. And I'll probably cut out of here just before this, just before I spend a whole bunch of time on this, but point is, I'm showing you this does work. So what we're going to try and do is we're going to clean this, and our end goal will be that I will be still able to, at the end, play this copy of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 on this game console. So what we're going to do is, let me just make sure I can get in-game here, just last thing. Taking a bit to load, but that's just CD-based stuff. It should work either way. But yeah, no, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to turn this off, unhook it, pop out the Tony Hawk disc, and then we're going to take it apart and put it into the micro. Alright, so as you can see, this works. No worries on that. So what we're going to do is... This is hilarious to watch on here. Sorry, I should probably pause this before I get distracted. What we're going to do is we're going to now just come down here. We're going to, if I can focus it. There we go. Turn this thing off. Pop out our Tony Hawk. And our end goal, as you can see, this is another reason why I want to clean this. Look, that button's sticking. we're going to take this whole thing apart. Our end goal is going to be, by the time we get this done, everything will be cleaned in the dishwasher and we'll still be able to play Tony Hawk. So let's take this apart. Alright, so I figured also it'd be fun and therapeutic to show you all this thing being taken apart, because honestly, this is the PS1 especially. I mean, the PlayStation's easy enough to take apart, but the PS1 especially is incredibly easy to rip apart. I actually never had this console. I had the original PlayStation, but I never had the PS1 right here growing up. So what we're going to do is we're just going to... Oh, this thing has never been ripped apart. And you can tell from two things. One, those screws are extremely in there. And two, the warranty seal is still intact, which I'm not going to bother with bypassing, honestly. We're just going to go ahead and... We're just going to go ahead and rip the sticker off like a band-aid and then take the whole thing apart. So this really only comes down to about 6 screws, which 1/6 of the work has been completed already. There we go. All screws are moved. Now, get over here. We take this off. So, let me see. Do I want to take this apart? Because this is where, honestly, I could just open it like this and we'll be good. I'm even thinking if we really want to, we could take off the metal tabs there. I'm not super worried about it. When it comes to this, so I'm not going to be cleaning the laser. That's going to be one of the parts that I'm going to exclude. Maybe the only part, but we'll see. So that's just 2 things. We need to take these 2 off right there. Oh, and it's kind of taped on. That's about all we need to do. I could just take off the tape. No big deal, really. That one I'll just clean with a Q-tip and some isopropyl alcohol. So there is the other metal shielding right there. And then we have this guy right here, which this is the main PCB. So if we can take it out of here, there we go. We got another metal shielding right here, which I will take off. Honestly, when it comes down to it, that's about it, man. That's really about it. So what I'll do, we have the bottom of the system itself, this metal shielding right here, the top tray of the system, and I'm considering if I should remove these right here, if we really need to. I'm honestly not super concerned with it, so I think we'll probably be good there for the most part, but okay. You know what, let's go ahead and give that a try. We can just go ahead and take these off. If I can, no, I might need something smaller. You know what, I'm just going to keep these on here, so this was just an afterthought, in a way. Oh, if I can, let me see here. Because these little things right here are just way too annoying. Alright. So actually scratch everything I said on that. I'm just going to keep this little metal layer on. Just due to the fact that these little doors right here for the memory card, yeah, these little memory card doors, I guess you can call them that, they have just a little tiny screws on them and everything, or little tiny springs, and I've dealt with things like this before, not specifically on the PS1, but just on other game consoles, and trust me, they are so annoying to deal with, and I just don't, I'll be honest, I don't feel like dealing with it right now. So we're just going to put the screws back in here, and no big deal to this. So again, if you want to be like super thorough about it, you might want to rip every single thing apart. In this case, I'm not going to rip the shielding off. There, these still work. We're having a good day. All right, now that we have all the parts here except for the laser, I'm going to take everything. Is there anything on here I need to remove? Maybe, possibly. It's like the only thing I'm thinking of. But either way, it's not even super dusty. It's still okay. We're still going to do this for the sake of science. I'm just worried to see if any of these will pop off, which we'll see what happens with all the pressure and everything from the washer itself. But let's go ahead and pop these all into our dishwasher. Alright, so now we're finally at the dishwasher. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take everything here. We have the PCB in there. We're going to take this, and I'm thinking that, could this be a good way of doing it? Sure, I guess that'll work. So we have that. we're going to take this. I'm just trying to make sure that everything kind of just doesn't wiggle around everywhere. Kind of space things out a bit too. And we can put that right there. Alright, cool. Now when it comes down to this right here, I think that should probably be okay. Alright, we'll kind of put it in there. Might bang around a little bit, but I think we'll still mostly be fine. Alright, and I'm not loading anything in there because I actually just finished washing stuff and I took it out, so just for the sake of wasting water, we're going to just load these in by themselves, just for the sake of trying this out. And go ahead and put that in there, and then when it comes to our detergent, we actually, yes, we are going to be cleaning this off. We're going to be using this automatic dishwashing detergent that I got from Trader Joe's. Just go ahead and put a little bit in there. And the reason why I'm doing this is because, again, that probably was more than enough. But honestly, when I've cleaned up, like, plastics on game systems like this, for example, I use detergent and I use soap and water and all that stuff. And if you're using this PCB looks fine, but let's say you get one that has like grape juice, which I've seen this example online. Let's say you have like grape juice just stuck all inside of it and everything. You're going to want something to actually clean it out, aside from water. So that's why we're going to be adding that in right here, just that other element. Let's go ahead. I think we'll put that there. That should be fine. Again, I might just swap these over so it has a bit more protection there, if you can say that in a way. Can I move this? Maybe. No, we'll just stick this like that, like it originally was. That'll be fine. All right, so we're gonna put everything in there. It's gonna be hopefully all nice and tidy and stuff. And let's go ahead and close this off. And let me double check and make sure that I actually, yep, I did suspend that. Now when it comes to heat drying, the very first thing you need to change is do not do heat dry. We're going to do air dry. That means that everything is just going to be washed up and then that's it. We're not going to use the heat at all. You do not want to use heat dry, period. Do not do that at all, whether you're putting the entire system in there or just the plastic components. You don't want to do it. Now, the other thing we're going to do right here is we can do either normal heavy, normal light, or just a rinse and hold. And what I'm going to do is, since we're actually washing this, I'm just going to do a normal light load. There's not a reason to do heavy load right here. So with that, we have our setting to air dry, we have it normal, and we're going to pull this. And let's see if the system breaks. Alright, so at this point we have now completed the wash, and one thing I completely forgot about, which some people might have taken notice of, I don't know if anyone's commented about it. Hopefully I made an annotation about it in the video. If not, I'm talking about it now. I did forget one piece. I did forget this metal shield, but it's just a tiny bit dusty. Either way will be good. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this back behind me here, and let's go ahead and take a first look at our cleaned up console. So this is the metal shield itself. Looks like it was fine. It didn't get banged up or anything. It's still all nice and shiny, so we can leave that right there. Just kind of set it above everything. Here is the actual console itself. Well, not the console, the full thing, but, you know, at least the top shell. Now, it does have a few scuffs right there. I'm not going to touch up those yet, just for the sake of, you know, just showing what it will look like afterwards. But as you can see, all the nasty dirt and grime and everything had come out. So it definitely did do the job, making everything look cleaner. Although, anytime you do this, anytime you do wash your stuff, this should be common sense, but just don't immediately put it back together. Because as you can see, there's just pockets of water everywhere. And that's going to be there for a while. So I'm probably just going to leave this alone for about a week. But nice thing is, the button, the eject button, actually comes back up when I press it down. It's no longer stuck. Well, kind of. Let's see. Nice. So that issue got fixed up. Although I should keep this open just for the sake of drying it out. Let's see the bottom of the system. It didn't really look problematic before, but that looks fine as well too. Alright, and finally the PCB itself, which, from what I see right here, PCB is not warped. I'm just doing a quick survey of the board right here, so if I'm not being super detailed, forgive me. Let's see there, we can kind of get that going. and I'm just observing it. Of course it is super duper wet, but I'm not seeing anything that's been knocked off. And I'm kind of looking inside there, and I'm not seeing anything either. So, what we're going to do is, again, all this stuff is wet. It's wet, wet, wet. I'm hoping, and I'm pretty sure, I'm hoping this will all still work, but what we need to do right now is we need to let this all dry out. So whether you clean your stuff in a sink or in a dishwasher, what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to grab a towel and lay out everything and have it dry for like a week. And we should be good on that. So, I'm of course not going to film that process, but yeah, no. I'll show you guys when it is all dried up and everything. So, see you in about a week, but it will be a few seconds thanks to the power of video editing. Hey, so just wanted to update you guys this as well, too. It's been about 12 hours, and this is just if you all are going to be doing anything similar to this, whether it be for the PCB or for the case itself. As you can see, everything looks dry here. Like, everything looks good to go. Don't mess with it. Seriously, don't try and put it together. Keep it out for, if you're doing PCB stuff like case and all that, a minimum of a few days. Again, I'm going to keep this out for probably a week or about a week, something like that. Because even the board, if you look at it, you might look at it and be like, oh yeah, everything looks dry, it's fine. That's not what we're worried about. We're not really worried about how it looks. We're worried about the internals and everything underneath that. And I guarantee it is still wet, at least internally there. So I'm not even going to attempt to hook this up or see, hey, maybe it'll work after a 12-hour dry. No. Do it for, again, gonna be drying this for about a week. Alright, so we are cheating a tiny bit. It has been 6 days exactly so far since this thing has been washed up and everything. And I have not tested it yet. Now, again, this is the motherboard itself right here. Now, there is a little bit of like kind of white stuff just all around these parts. I've seen that on other consoles before, and it really hasn't affected it in a negative way. So we could clean it up, but I also think it's probably going to be okay. If anyone wants to shed some light on it, they're more than welcome to. On the motherboard itself, there is this little kind of rubber piece right here that I checked underneath. Everything seems to be okay right there as well, too, so I think we'll be fine. And honestly, I've even heard when it comes to drying out electronics that have been wet, 48 to 72 hours is fine, but again, I kind of just put a week on there just because we want to try that out. So we're going to give this a shot right here. Now, again, I haven't done any spot treatment on this, so I might or might not show that. We'll see. But everything seems to be more than dry, more than okay on here. Oh, looks like, oh, there we go. Memory card slots are, that's kind of my own fault. Memory card slots are a tad bit iffy, which we can work on later. It's okay. That should be fine. Okay. We'll see what's going on. Point is here, I want to put everything back in. So first off, we're going to go ahead and let me make sure we have everything down on this. This is supposed to go on the bottom. Just have to remember how the hell this all goes in here. So there we go, that can go in here. Yeah, it has spots all over it, but that's because, again, I'm using a cheaper detergent on this and all that other fun stuff, so it's not going to have, you know, the full spot treatment on here. But again, not all too worried about that. This will just pop in there like so, or actually, I should have put it in the opposite way, which, let me see how I can do this. There we go. So, units in first, just like that. That should be fine. Seems like it's all going down. Then we're going to screw it in, so no real worries on that. Then on top of this, let's see, we're going to have to pop this right here, and we're going to put the laser on top. Now, you all also saw that, well, you saw, I guess you didn't see me clean the laser, because I didn't clean the laser. I explicitly said on there when I was taking everything apart that I was not going to throw the laser in, I was going to clean it up myself. So I'm going to show you all how I'm going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some, this again is complete overkill for cleaning a laser, but you know, I got a big pack of it, 99.9% isopropyl alcohol. Put some on the tip of this Q-tip right here. Done. That's it. I mean, of course, we'll let it dry out and everything. But that is just rubbing alcohol, or isopropyl alcohol, excuse me. You could, technically, yeah, I guess use rubbing alcohol on there. Isopropyl alcohol is going to be better, but I've cleaned stuff with rubbing alcohol before. It does leave a bit of a film on there, so honestly you're better getting isopropyl, but that's neither here nor there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put the case on, And as you can see, it's not sticking down because we haven't screwed it down. So again, I want to set this up like it is, you know, complete, ready, good to go. So I'm just gonna double check the laser on here. Looks like that's plugged into the power and the data ports on the motherboard. Again, that memory card's gonna be a bit of an annoyance, but I'm not super worried about it right now. We'll go ahead and pop that back in, and let's go ahead and screw everything together. And now, after getting all those annoying screws in there, yeah, seems to be fine. Laser seems to be okay, but even so, I could just, you know, kind of leave this out for a few minutes and we'll be okay. Just let it open like that. And we should be good, at least when it comes to reassembly. I was going to say good to go, but I have no idea if this thing works. So we're going to go over to our TV, we're going to hook it up, and we're going to see what happens. So as you all can see right here, I just kind of want to show you all these scuff marks and everything like that and some others that, yeah, they do look a bit better, but they're still on there right now. But this is the same PS1, the exact same one that I've been working with. I'm not going to spend almost a week trying to fake this video, honestly. And if you think I'm faking this, then you are on the complete. Just leave, dude. Just leave. Come on, man. But anyways, we have our controller. We have RGB SCART hooked up. We got our same copy of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 all fired up in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hook it up. Okay, I didn't smell anything. I didn't hear anything. Let's try this out here. Let's try it. All right. Okay. All right. Oh, I nudged it, but it's all good. It's all good. There we go. Okay, let me also turn up the volume so y'all can hear it. Y'all can hear that. Let's bring it up. And let me just pull out a little bit. There we go. Giggity. There we go. There we go. All right. Whenever all this stuff comes up here. Cool. Oh, damn it. I'm copyrighted music. Come on, man. Come on. All right. I'm going to, hold on. I'm going to turn down the volume here like all the way because... if you're not hearing any audio from this, I promise, let's even see here. Okay, I promise the audio is working on this. I just turned it all the way down because this has copyrighted music all over it. So again, we're going to do a new career. And just going to load it into a quick game here. I don't know if this is the exact same thing I did before, but point is we're going to see if this is working or not. Tony Hawk, sure, let's be Tony Hawk. Actually, yeah, it seems to be working the same as before or even better, so I don't think we really have anything to worry about so far. Let's go ahead, accept, and let's pop into the actual game itself. Oh my god, see, like, kids would have whacked to this, like, way back in the day, but look how pixelated. I can count the pixels on this TV, man. Let's go ahead and see this here. So, yep. Oh god. I'm kind of doing this all at an angle, too, so it's a little bit awkward. But, oh god, I wiped out. You know what, it seems like cleaning up the system has made me worse at this game. But point is here, oh nice, that's when they added manuals. I don't think the first one, I'm going to wipe out, yep. First game did not have manuals from what I remember. But as you can see right here, the system is still working, and from what I see, it's working just as good or even better than it was before. If it's working any better than it was before, that's because I ended up cleaning up the laser there, but... no, it looks like we're good to go on this system right here. So, cleaning your game system in a dishwasher, like including the PCB and the motherboard and all that stuff, does it work? Yes, it does. Again, just main things you have to take note of. Don't use heat, and make sure you let it dry quite a bit. I left this drying for 6 days, and it seems to be working. I forgot to wash one metal shielding in there, and I did not wash the actual laser assembly because... I'm not going to wash the laser assembly in the dishwasher. It doesn't need that much pressure. Neither does the motherboard, really, but hey, I mean, it got a nice, thorough, deep cleaning. Now, again, did this system need it? Absolutely not, but we want to do this for experiment purposes, and now I know that I did not waste $9 on the system, and we have a perfectly working PS1 that I can play around with. So, as you can see, it looks like we're good to go. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pause this. I'll probably even do another thing where I just keep the system running idly for like out of 1 or 2 hours to make sure it's fine. And I can update you all in comments and all that stuff. But last thing I want to show you all, I want to show you all some spot treatment on the system. All right, now final thing with this, we now have the system reassembled. It is working, so it's clean on the inside, but as you can see, there's just like some scuffs right here. Now, all the nasty stuff, it's gone. We've disinfected the system. I mean, we should have because we put it in a dishwasher with detergent. But what about like these scuffs? Well, what you could do is you could use this thing, which is a Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, and let's like do this, for example. So all I'm going to do is just kind of lightly rub on this, and I don't know if this one's going to come out, honestly, but if it does, that'll be a nice benefit. It's looking a little bit better. This one I'm probably going to have to work on a little bit more, which I don't feel like doing for the remainder of this video. But even like this little scratch right here, just this surface scratch, what you could do is kind of just work on buffing this out, and as you can see, with barely any pressure, we're at least getting this out here. Now, while doing this, I'm being very careful to not touch the Sony logo right there, because you can rip that off. So where it says Sony or where it says PS1, you could easily and magically erase, you know, those logos off of here, so we're not going to do that. Now, it's looking a little bit better. Now, as you can see right here, it might not be the most apparent thing, because honestly, I can make it look better. I just, there's two things. One, this will actually work a little bit better if you get it wet. I just don't want to take the system apart and get it wet again. I don't feel like doing that right now. But if you end up using this with either some water or, I mean, in a drastic case, like a little bit of Windex, you can do that. But there was a dot somewhere around here. It's pretty much gone now at this point. I can see a tiny bit of it after rubbing this for a few minutes. This kind of gash right here, that's mostly gone. And this right here, I've gotten rid of this side here a good amount. It's still a little bit prevalent right there. But if I spent another, 15, 20, 30 minutes on this and even added liquid to the solution here, just got the whole thing wet and cleaned it up, I could, completely restore this thing right here. There's some that are harder to get, but that's how you can spot treat one of these systems. So anyways, that's it. So now, as you can see, we took this PlayStation 1, we have opened it up, completely cleaned it on the inside and out, did some spot treatment right here, and it's looking like a pretty awesome system, and we have been able to prove as well too, and I was able to try it firsthand, that cleaning a system in the dishwasher does in fact work. The actual system, not just the case and the parts and everything in there. Anyways, this is Mr. Mario signing off. Thank you all for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, a like would very much be appreciated. And if you absolutely hated it because you don't own a dishwasher, and I've been there, dude, I completely understand. A dislike is fine as well, too. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you guys.